Hello everyone, welcome back to CrawfordCana. Today we are going to be piloting Blurple into Ruby Sapphire, played by Chris. Now Ruby Sapphire is a bit of an interesting one because yes, they've gained the power line cards, which are a nice addition to the deck, but after losing cards like B-Prep and Sisu, they've lost their main wipe cards. Now Ruby Sapphire is obviously a ramp and control deck, and at the minute it just feels like a ramp deck without a lot of control. They're having to rely on Powerline and cards like B-King Undisputed to be able to keep the board clear, and I just don't think it's able to do as much in this meta. Because there's no risk of B-Prep, I'm able to go wider on the board and exert a lot more pressure. Chris is going to have to utilise trying to get to his Maui Shark and hit down Pirate's Life to keep me down, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough in this matchup, especially with the draw power of Blurple. We're starting things off by playing out Royal Guard. Now, I always want to be playing a turn 1 here against this deck because there's just not a lot that they're doing in the early game. Royal Guard into ramp on the next turn, followed up by a Genie, is probably my ideal curve on either the play or draw. As you can see here, we have went for the Royal Guard, ink in Tipo, and then go Sail the Azurite Sea. Normally, Tipo would be a nice play here, however, I just wanted to get a few more cards into my hand just to get some better options down the line. Yes, I've got the Genie coming up, but obviously, since I was going first, my hand is getting a little bit smaller, so I just wanted to be able to utilise the stronger cards in my hand without getting rid of them. Chris is going to ink Break Free, play down Tipo, inking a secret card as well. You'll see that he does have a proxy card in his hand. I'm fairly certain that was his proxy Hades. He does lift it up to the camera later on the game though, so we can see that. We're going to be inking Royal Guard. I don't need a lot of them in this game, so I'm not going to have to do a lot of challenging with my smaller characters. Play out the Genie, take the extra card draw, and quest for 1. Obviously, Tipo isn't much of a threat, but if I do lose that Royal Guard, it's not too much of an issue in this matchup. Like I say, the kind of bigger characters I need to be aware of is Powerline and Maui Shark, which I can be utilising a Hades or an Into the Unknown for later. Chris is edging on his Donald Duck here. Obviously, that's a nice bit of ramp for him, so it could be useful to play out, but he is going to have to try and get back into the game fast here. So a little bit of shuffle of the hand there. You'll see he's also got a Cheater in his hand, which was quite useful for a new draw engine for him. However, Cheater has been quite easy to get rid of in the deck, especially only having 1 willpower. Not too strong of a card. Going to have a little bit of a think about here, and then we are going to ink that Donald Duck, and we're going to play 2 to pay out Cheater, get that draw engine started, and we are then going to pay another 2, potentially, no. Yep, he's going to play 2 for 1 jump head. This will allow him to ink, but also activate Cheater's ability to draw another card. So nice start here for Chris. Is he going to quest for the Tipo? No. Obviously, Royal Guard will take that out straight away, so it's probably best to get a bit of presence on the board and not let me wipe everything straight away. For our turn, you can see we've got the Dumbo in the hand as well as Bell and another Genie, Into the Unknown and Finders Keepers. At this point, I'd probably never normally play a Finders Keepers, but it wouldn't be a bad shout because he's not got a lot of threats on the board. This could expand my hand. Another optional line would be Genie to get the additional card draw and go from there. Now, we are going to be inking... Looks like the Bell we were going for, but I've decided against it and I'm going 4 for the Genie. I've just valued getting board presence here to put him under even more pressure. We've drew it into the Rafiki, so I'm going to ink that Bell and then play out Rafiki. Yeah. Now, Bell is a bit of a weird one in this matchup. Because I'm expecting him not to be questing too much, I don't think I'm going to be getting that much value from her, only really to be a big questing body. Obviously, cards like Maui Shark, though, is going to cause a bit of a problem for the Bell, so I don't really think there's any need. She's also not going to be able to move enough damage onto him, so I'm fine for that to go into my ink. Chris currently sitting on 5 ink, he's moving 4 across here, which gives us a bit of an idea what he's looking at for his play, potentially looking at a 4-cost turn here. He does have options to gain from Cheater as well. He's going to play Develop Your Brain, allowing him to search for the top 2 cards on his deck, put 1 into his hand and 1 onto the bottom of his deck. Not quite sure what he's got in the hand there, not the best angle. A little bit of a decision as well. So it looks like 2 cards that he's valuing quite a lot in this game, hence the longer thinking time for it. Okay, it looks like a Break Free that he's taken into his hand, which is good use removal. And he still has 4 ink available. He can still ink for this turn as well. Looks like he's got the Beagle Boys in his hand there, which has been a really nice setup for Maui Shark to be able to give it rush when Beagle Boys quests. Obviously an evasive option as well. Dropping into the ink here, Chris is going for... Looks like Kido was going for, but has changed his mind. He's opted for the Beagle Boys. Now, Because he is inked, he should have been able to activate Cheetah's effect, no? But he has gone for Kida, got her onto the field and passed turn. So potential misplay there for Chris, unless I've read his card wrong, which I am known to do, so don't trust me too much. I'm going to ready up all of my characters here, and we have Hypnotic Strength that it looks like we drew into. Bear in mind that I have 2 evasive characters on the field. This could be a shout now for Dumbo to come out, but I'm expecting all my ink going for Finders Keepers and getting a large draw amount just to see what we go into. Looks like I've got another Hypnotic Strength there, which could quite possibly go into the Inkwell. No need for that just now. And then I might as well quest out with all my characters. Yep, nice little quest there, going all the way up to 11. So quite a lot of pressure on Chris here to be able to catch up. Like I say, because he doesn't have the removal, it means I can go wider without too much of a threat. He is now on 6 ink, so a shark could be coming out, which could stop me from being able to quest, which would be a bit of a problem. He is, first of all, going to use Kida's effect, which allows him to look at the top 2 cards of his deck, put one into his Inkwell, and the other onto the top of his deck. This, of course, will activate Cheech's ability as well, giving him additional card draw. Looks like he's completely forgot that as well. He's going to ink the Tipo, get Cheech's effect there. Now, one in the comments, let me know. I thought Cheecha you could use multiple times, but is it only once that she can be activated? If so, that might make more sense. Right, that's his proxy power line that he's sticking down. He was just giving me an explanation there on camera. I believe the words I used were, Chris, what the hell is that? But looks like that is power line, 4/3 stat line, quest for 1, and when you play a song, it gets rush. So does Chris have any songs that he's going to be playing here to be able to give Powerline Rush on this turn? He'd be able to take out the Rafiki or the Royal Guard with it. He's going to be exerting 4 to play Bee King Undisputed, which makes me choose and discard one of my characters. I'll be getting rid of the Rafiki there as it does the least damage in this game. Royal Guard can obviously stack up with draw cards and make it a bit beefier, but he is going to use Powerline to rush in there and take it out. Still leaves me with 2 genies on the field, and he doesn't have any evasive, so not too much of a threat for me there. Not something we really need to worry about. Chris passes turn there, so still on 0 to 11. Really bad position for him here, and he's really going to have to do some hard work to be able to get back into the game. 2 genies on the field that he just can't quite touch is difficult for him. We have drew into the Scar there, so I would be able to stick that down, wipe out either Kida or the power line. Also got the Elsa, Dumbo, Madam Mim, Elephant. Not too sure Madam Mim, Elephant is too much use in this game unless it's to recycle back the Hades to my hand. Can utilise that more for the Maui Sharks or the bigger power line card, which shifts out. Looks like we're going to be using a larger amount, and we are going to be playing down Elsa. Now this will be to exert the Cheetah, take that out. The logic here is I don't want him to be able to get his draw engine back off, and as you can see by his hand size, it's getting quite limited. Not a lot in there. Once he does run out of cards, it's going to be very hard for him to do anything, and it means I can just steam away with the game. Going to put Hypnotic Strength onto Genie, allowing me to draw a card, get an additional option in. And then I am going to take out Kida with Genie, so the plus strength from the Challenger, really helpful there. Then Elsa should be able to take out the Cheetah, and then potentially the other Genie into Powerline. Or, in fact, Elsa to take out Powerline, since Powerline's a 4-statted card. Might as well keep all cards on the board, keep the pressure up. Genie takes out the Cheetah, taking 2 damage back, leaving him only with Tipo. 3 evasive characters out on the board on my end, Chris only with a Tipo, really difficult position. He's got the Break Free in his hand. I can also see another proxy card in there as well as Beagle Boys. Not sure which one of this proxy is. He's going to play 4 for the Beagle Boys here, which could be a hint to set up Maui Shark on the next turn. He's also got the Proxy Powerline Rush card once again, but that can't do anything into us as it isn't evasive. We're going to ready our characters back up. We've drew into the larger Elsa. This could be a quite nice play here, exerting both Powerline and Beagle Boys, so we can't do anything. I've then got a larger question on the board. That would be 3, 5, 7, put me up to 18, really putting pressure on him there if he isn't able to do anything. Little bit indecisive on my ink there. Looks like we're potentially exerting 4, I think. That could be for the Dumbo, so I get additional draw. That would be a good play at this time, just to make sure my hand is staying filled. No, we're going 5 for the Bell. Going to take that damage off my Genie, give a bit of extra protection, take out Beagle Boys. Good prediction there, just in case the Maui Shark was going to be coming out, could do a bit of damage into me on the next turn. Then we are simply going to quest out for 5, put me on 16 altogether. At this point, writing is basically on the wall for Chris, 16-0 with 3 evasive characters and Bell on the board. I don't think there's anything he can do here. Obviously, the break free in his hand and the pirate's life, but he's not even got enough to be able to sing together with his characters here. Yeah, Chris is just going to concede for this one, nothing he can do. So that we quest out and take the game. Nice play for game 1.